Hello guys, welcome to Filing Doc. Today I want to bring some update, regarding cases that are related to deportation or removal proceeding. So you need to understand there is a big change, and then IC is trying to adjust. So uh, we are seeing IC is ordering immigrants to appear in court, but the judge are not expecting them. So So what that means, it's when a bunch of immigrants they come into for a hearing on the court. They've been placed in a removal, and then when they go to the immigration court, the judge are not expecting them. That's when there is any schedule. Sometimes they receive schedule at midnight or on weekend. So what's going on? What's going on? You need to understand what's going on because there is a change, and IC is trying to adjust. So understand. Normally, what we call the removal, the start of any removal proceeding. That means when the government is trying to deport you, the first step, it serves what we call a notice to appear. That means you receive a notice telling you that you need to appear before an immigration judge for some reason. Okay. But most of the notice to appear, most of them, the first one, they didn't have any date or place. They just say, later on you will know the date. Okay, that was most of them. They don't have any date. They just tell you, okay, for some reason you've been placed in a removal proceeding, so they will schedule you for a certain date that will be determined in the future. So you don't really, the first notice to appear, most of them generally you don't have any date. Okay, now right now, how can we explain the fact that a bunch of immigrants they receive notice to appear? That's mean notice that if in front of court at a specific date, and then when they get to the immigration court, no judge are expected within them. Sometime, like I told you, they receive date at midnight on weekend. What's going on? Let's try to understand. Okay, to understand this change, to understand it, we need to go back to decisions that has been made on June 2018. Supreme Court, there was a Supreme Court decision like 1-8 versus 1. That means 8 judge agree, only 1 oppose. So what was this decision regarding notice to appear? So according to these decisions, the Supreme Court state that if a notice to appear don't have any time and date, this notice to appear cannot be used as a document to stop an immigrant, from filing a kind of relief. What that means? Generally, if you are an unlawful immigrant, if you already have 10 years in this country, that means 10 years in this country, you are unlawful immigrant, the law gives you the possibility to cancel the deportation, the removal. You have this possibility to cancel it if you already have 10 years. Okay? But they told you if you receive your notice to appear before the 10 years, before you get 10 years, let's say you are about to get 10 years in 2018 and 2017, you receive a notice to appear. Okay? Which means even though you will be in front of the judge later on 2018, according to this law, once you receive the notice to appear, it's stopped the time, which means you were not eligible to cancel the removal because the law said you need to have 10 years, and once you receive the notice to appear, the time stopped. You cannot argue, okay, in 2018, they will tell you, oh no, you receive your notice to appear in 2017, even though now the judgment is happening in 2018. Once you receive the notice to appear, the clock stop. Legally, you cannot cancel the removal. But here's what the fact that the Supreme Court state if you receive a notice to appear with time and date, this notice to appear is like invalid. That means the government, any agency cannot use this paper like a tool to prevent you from cancel the removal, which mean a bunch of immigrant, once they have the 10 years, if the first notice was a notice to appear with no time and date, and they already have 10 years, they will be able to cancel the removal, which is a great, that's a technical, but this is play in the advantage of so many immigrants that have been placed in removal. The fact that notice to appear that don't have time and date cannot prevent you from canceling a removal if you already have 10 years. By the way, there's a 7 years also. This is for lawful permanent resident that are in removal. After 7 years, you can cancel the removal. The same rule also. So if you receive a notice to appear before you got the 7 years and with no time and date, they cannot use it to prevent you from canceling these removal. By the way to cancel the removal, generally supposed to have a family member that is a lawful permanent resident or a citizen, and there is a hardship. There is some detail about it. But what you need to remember, the fact once you get 10 years, that's mean for lawful permanent resident that are in deportation 7 years, you got this possibility to cancel your removal proceeding. Okay, but these decisions that's been made on June 2018 by the Supreme Court, it's really give a blow to so many agencies, and then right now so many lawyers as well as immigrants are using it to state that that mean the way they start the process was not in line with the law. So many people are using it to state that okay, the way they start my removal proceeding was not in accordance to the law, and by the way they need to just dismiss it, they're gonna start over. So people are using it even though they don't have any possibility to get cancellation, but they trying to play, that means to have more time. Okay, to understand what I mean. So even though so many people they don't have the 10 years, they are just saying the way it starts because the Supreme Court state, you notice to appear with time and date. That's this way. This is not in the line with the law. Some lawyers are using it to stop the procedure, and then maybe later on they can restart it. But anyway, this immigrant which is removal gonna have some more year also to stay here. That's the way it is. Okay, so understand this simple change will affect so many immigrants that are in removal. Like I told you, most of the notice to appear in the past didn't state the time and the date, and this decision made by the Supreme Court make like invalid the notice. That means this notice to appear without that time and date cannot be used to prevent someone from canceling his removal if it's eligible. If the person is eligible, the notice to appear cannot stop him. That's what you need to understand, and that's why now you start to understand agents like AC. What they are doing now is like they don't issue a notice without it, even though they know the judge have so many cases, there's a backlog, the judge will not be able to receive you. They don't have this possibility. They just put a date. They know the court will not be able to hear you. So on the people got in the court, they tell, oh, we don't have any schedule with you. We will try to call you back later on so that you will know when you will be scheduled. So that's the answer they receive once they get. So which means I see they are trying to, to turn these, because what you need to understand the immigration system, there is so many cases, there's a backlog, so many cases. So they cannot receive everyone. You need to wait. There is a waiting period. So that's why so often they cannot schedule, they need to wait for. So right now what they are doing, they put the date and the time, and they know pretty sure you receive you receive a notice to appear to appear at a certain time and date. And when you get in the court, they told you, no, we don't have any schedule with you. So which means later on, you cannot use this like a tool. If you qualify for cancellation, you cannot say, oh, I received a notice without time and date, so I can cancel. I can cancel my waiver. You will not be able to do. That's what happening. So that's why we are assisting right now a dozen of odd immigrants that have hearing date, time, and then George George are not expecting those immigrants to appear. Really, they are not on the calendar of the judge. So it's on purpose. What ICE is trying to prevent, they're trying to prevent immigrants to use this as a tool. They can use it as a tool, first of all, to just specifically state the way they started was not in accordance to the law. So which means IC will need to start over. Okay. They can use it also if they are eligible for cancellation. So IC is trying to prevent that by stating that date and time. Okay. So these years, so many people sometimes they receive a notice for hearing, and they tell them you need to appear at midnight midnight at a certain period. So uh, that's mean fake date. Let's say that's a fake date, dummy date. Okay. So the example, they report some case in Dallas, Los Angeles, San Diego, Atlanta, Chicago, Miami. We are assisting some dummy fake date. So that's why they are doing, just to fight this decision that has been made by the Supreme Court. So the result immigrant, okay, saying more cow. This is really a cow, which means so many people will be in front of. So we need to understand also so if the Department of Homeland Security is trying to solve, or to to go over this obstacle with notice to appear date by giving that they know there is no schedule. So what we're gonna ask is like, and the courtroom, is gonna be over recorded. So many people, that's gonna be in another kind of madness. So many people that don't have any schedule will show up, and then we're gonna see a courtroom full of people that are asking questions, while those people don't have any court date, any hearing also. So we'll see. So but so those people, once they get in the court, they just they just telling that they need to keep calling, in order to know effectively with which date they will have to appear before the immigration judge. So that's the way it is right now. So that's a new process that a Department of Homeland Security is using to exactly go over these injunctions that make invalid a notice to appear without date. So I will advise you, take what if you are in immigration proceeding, just you need to have a lawyer, because you're not gonna be able to do it by yourself. But you need also to stay informed, get information. Information is power. Even though you have your lawyer, you got information. Even though what we're doing now, we are not providing legal advice. We're just giving information so that you know how the thing works. You know the change. So channel like mine, if there is, I'm sure there is other channel like this one. You need to to subscribe, to get update, the change that's happening in the immigration. So basically, we are giving information, not legal advice. Information. So we got a bunch information, and then we got also some tutorial on how to file a different form if you want to go per se by yourself. So that's a channel to be. So I think that's all for today. So remember, if this is the first time you are with us, you need to click the red button below. There is a red button. You need to click it. What are you waiting for? Do it. Okay, guys, take care. See you next time.